Rush on the Spirit of Rock, CHOM 97.7 in Montreal, and a little Earth, Wind, and Fire before that, a song called Sing a Song. They had I think they were one of the first bands to sell out the Jazz Fest. The 35th annual Jazz Fest is on a serious roll. They've had killer show after killer show after killer show, and tonight Diana Ross performs at Place des Arts as part of the Jazz Fest. Downtown, it's 22, and it feels like 28. Some hot weather today. The humidity is going to back off for the weekend. That may help with the Ride to Conquer Cancer. I've got a guest in the studio. Phil, good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I was looking at your website here this morning. You know a lot of heavy hitters, I think. Do you?
A few nice friends and
You've
good
got
relationships.
Yeah, let's call them generous friends.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And you're taking part. Well, I want to talk to you about your story in a second, but maybe you can answer my question, because there was a Ride to Conquer Cancer with my colleague Maureen Holloway in Toronto, I think 2 weekends ago.
That's right.
And the folks at Enbridge, whom I know to be unbelievably generous with their money and their time, from my days in Calgary, I think sponsor rides in every province, do they not?
Pretty much. There's a ride in Alberta, in Calgary. There's a ride in Vancouver.
Right.
They actually bike up to Whistler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And there's a ride in Toronto and a ride in Montreal.
That's uphill, by the way.
Yeah.
On the way to Whistler, up the Sea to Sky Highway, that'd be something. Now, where's the Quebec ride?
Montreal to Quebec City.
Okay. And what's the route you're going to take?
We go along the north shore of the St. Lawrence. We stop in Trois-Rivières on the first night on Saturday evening, and then we end up just west of Quebec City on Sunday.
Have you done it before?
I did it last year.
You did it last year. And tell your story. I was reading the piece last night that you sent me from the Globe and Mail, and it's kind of stunning, actually. Somebody actually approached you to do the ride.
That's right.
And then not long after that, you were diagnosed?
Well, I guess I was trying to do the ride, or I wanted to do the ride just for myself. Yeah. The year before I was diagnosed with cancer. And I just couldn't get around to it, whatever. And then I guess December of 2011, I spotted a symptom, went for some scans, et cetera, had some surgery to remove what was a cyst on my bladder. Okay, whatever, go in, get it out, move on, continue to ski to the end of the season. Right. But it turns out it was cancer. And it was a very, very rare cancer.
Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Right. It's urachal cancer.
Urachal.
So it's cancer of the urachus.
What is that?
The urachus is a tube behind your belly button.
Uh-huh.
Your belly button connects to your mom, and inside of you, it connects to you.
Right.
It connects, I guess, to your stomach for food intake, and it connects to your bladder for the out stuff before you're born. Anyway, when your belly button's chopped after you're born, or your umbilical cord, those tubes behind your stomach there disappear, or they're supposed to disappear.
Right.
Well, mine didn't disappear.
Wow. You must have been stunned. It's so rare. That's such a rare thing.
It's so rare that one day I went to the, if you got a fever during chemo, you got to go to the Emerge. That's the process.
Yeah.
I go to the Emerge at Notre Dame Hospital, and the people, first of all, Notre Dame Hospital were amazing. Yeah. The doctor, Normand Blais, was amazing. The staff was amazing. I go into the ER one night, late one night. It must have been 11 o'clock at night. And they asked me, if I had any pre-existing condition or whatever. And I said, yeah, I had, urachal cancer. They said, what?
Really?
They go onto their system, right? It's a checkbox. It's a list of items, right? Bladder cancer, this kind of cancer. It doesn't exist. You must be mistaken.
No kidding. Yeah. Wow. So you provided a lesson for the folks there that night.
People don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's a piece of tissue that doesn't exist in most people. So, they don't know about it.
For people who don't know, the money goes, where does the money go? Because it's a lot of money you've raised.
So the money goes towards to the Jewish General Hospital Siegel Cancer Center. Actually, it's split between, depends on where you're coming from. There's a hospital in Gatineau that gets money. There's a hospital in Quebec City that gets money, and those names are on the site. And the Jewish General Hospital is the main organizer of all this, and it goes to the Siegel Cancer Center there.
What's the figure you've raised so far?
So far, I'm up just over $10,000, and the team is up about $110,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't be afraid to brag. It's quite an impressive number of people that have donated and put together a lot of money.
Between last year and this year, last year we raised about $126,000. So that's a lot of money.
Did you cycle before this? Were you an avid cyclist?
I cycled as a kid, and it was fun. And then I got busy and had kids, and I had to give up a bunch of things. Had to. You just gotta do other stuff.
Life intervenes.
Life intervenes.
Right? You get a job, and you work and children and whatever.
Right. So I bought a bike.
Yeah.
I bought a bike 2 years before I was diagnosed, and I was going to do it, and I didn't. And then I just it's kind of interesting, after you get chemo, I mean, it wipes you out.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings you to that line where you're just about to go, and then they kind of bring you back. That's kind of how it feels. So I was kind of starting at zero, and I started to bike with my wife, Alyssa. Mm-hmm. We, biked in the country a little bit, 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and I just kept going.
Right. And you did the ride once already, right? Correct?
I did the ride last year.
Last year?
And, doing it this year for the second time.
Be honest. How sore does your ass get?
Well, I got to tell you, if you don't train, it's going to hurt.
Because the first day is how far?
It's about 115 kilometers each day.
That little tiny riding seat. And
yes,
then the next day is
another 150.
Okay.
The next day is a little harder than the first day because of the first day. The first day it's like, oh, it's not so bad.
Right.
And you have to get up the next day and do it again.
Because the scenery is nice and everything, but that's a long bike ride.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But, it's okay. If you train, the ride's really good about giving you a training schedule. So that's all good. I did want to tell you, you asked where the money went.
Yes.
There's something else that I did over the last year. So we raised a bunch of money last year. And by the way, I was floored. Like, there were some amazing people out there that just kind of, it's kind of like you paid for it all your life and you wonder what, and it just kind of came back then. So I actually set up a urachal cancer fund at the Jewish, and I set up a urachal research project that's being funded by the Jewish.
Fantastic.
So this project got kicked off last week, and so now this very rare cancer is going to get some attention, which it wouldn't normally have gotten.
So no one will be able to say to anybody, you're mistaken.
Well, exactly.
Bring some awareness to it. These are all your team members, Arnold Cohen, Marty Cooper, Ari and Eric Dahan. This is all the people, John Kenner, these are all the people who've raised anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000 each.
Yeah.
That's a lot of arm twisting, Phil.
Well,
good for you guys.
Yeah. I think people have been generous. They understand the passion behind it.
Yeah.
They understand the cause, and they want to give. Arnold Cohen has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Andrew Toman has been fantastic.
Yeah.
And my friend Jason Kotofsky, who really started me out on this. I got it all thanks to him.
Where do you start? Is it tomorrow?
The ride starts on Saturday
morning
in
Repentigny, and you finish up in.
And we finish up in, I don't know, just west of Quebec City.
Gotcha. Just west of Quebec City on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Okay. Best of luck to you. How do I properly pronounce your? I want to make sure I got this right.
My name?
Your last name?
Anzarut.
Anzarut. Okay, I said Anzarut, so thank you for the correction.
That's close enough. Can I mention 3 sponsors?
Absolutely, please do.
Tactio Software was there last year for us, and has come back again as a sponsor. Noble Foods, Alex, that you mentioned at Noble Foods, has been kind enough to fund our jerseys. And P.F. Chang's, the restaurant P.F. Chang's, my friend Michael Aronovich, thanks to him. He was also, we're having our team dinner there tonight. But thanks to those guys.
Okay. Phil, good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're not too sore on Sunday. Where can people go get information? Should I give this?
Sure, you can give that. They can go to conquercancer.ca. They can look up Bikus Urachus.
Okay.
That's if you can spell it, you can find it. We're actually the number 3 team. We're the number 3 team on the ride, and actually the number 1 independent team, non-corporate team.
Fantastic. A tip of my cap to you, and good luck this weekend. I think the weather's going to be spectacular.
Thanks very much.
All right, thanks. It's coming up 17 after 8.